There he is.
Yo, yo.
Two Faces for Radio.
How you doing, my man?
Dude, I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. What can I say? How are you?
Not here. It's shitty outside. So I'm glad to hear it's going good over there.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Where are you guys?
We're in Indianapolis. Are you Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Nice. You're not old enough to do any of the crazy stuff, right?
No, I'm still 19. But even
all right.
Even if I was 21, man, the strip is so crazy. I don't know if I'd ever be there.
Dude, I my wife and I agree this, like, our favorite place in the world to vacation is Las Vegas, because it seems like everyone on the strip is in vacation mode and they're just going crazy all the time. So it's awesome. But
it is like vacation mode is an understatement.
Right, exactly. And some people are just on crazy mode. Oh my cow. But 21st birthday, I mean, it's coming up a couple years away. You have any crazy plans? I mean, you got to do it big in Vegas, right?
I've actually been thinking about going to Dubai and skydiving there.
Oh,
that's like, I mean, that's a big 21st birthday. And like, that's not really something where like, hey, everyone come to Dubai. No, it's like, I'm going to Dubai. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah. I think
that's the richest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I think that beats Vegas too. Skydiving in Dubai.
A little bit.
Yeah. What? Tommy was telling me today, I don't even think I knew this, that you were on American Idol, one of the big things, and then you had the big balls to drop out and go to your own thing.
Big balls to drop out. Yeah. So just, I mean, a year ago, I was still in American Idol, and before it, I was posting videos on social media on TikTok, and so I'm assuming saw those videos and they reached out to me like, hey, we'd love for you to audition for American Idol. And I was in college last year, so I was like, American Idol, college, I'll do it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
And so I tried it and it went really well, and I was continuing on in the competition, and then I just kind of realized like I could do American Idol and forever and always be the American Idol kid, or I could quit and start writing my own music and break myself as an artist, and I would be taken more seriously. And so that's what I chose to do. And 8 months later, here we are.
Ooh, worked out.
No kidding. So you said you were in college. I think I heard somewhere that you literally just figured out you could sing like 2 years ago. So what were you majoring in college? Because I'm sure it wasn't like singing or anything of that nature.
But it was not singing. Yeah. So I have kind of grown up doing art. So I was going to do graphic design, architecture, and interior design, and start like a private home building company and build sick houses. And like, that was my plan. And it's not my plan anymore.
How do you just figure out that you can sing? Do you not sing in the car or the shower or anybody?
I ask myself that literally like at least twice a day. Like,
dang.
It doesn't even make any sense. I grew up just always like sports, outdoors, always doing something, always active.
Yep.
But that was who I was. And I would never be like, maybe I should sing in the shower. No, like everyone sings in the shower. Why did I not sing in the shower? I don't know. I don't get I literally don't understand. But like, it was senior year of high school, and we had like a battle of the bands competition. Our school did, and I had played piano for a little bit because my sisters did lessons, and so I would just kind of taught myself like by ear, listening to them.
You didn't sing playing piano.
I didn't even. I know. It's embarrassing, but so my buddy wanted to do a little band, and he's like, "Hey, can you play the piano?" I was like, "Sure." So I was gonna play piano, like easy as that, and then our singer last minute just backs out and didn't want to sing. And so it's just me and Eric, and we're like, well, we could either quit or Eric can sing. And he's like, no, you're going to sing. And he has a good voice. So like, that's why it didn't make any sense to me. Like he's good. Mm-hmm. And so I guess I just tried it, and we only had time for one practice. So we did one practice, and then we just went to the Battle of the Bands competition the next day. Our whole school was there. Everyone knows us for being like the sports and talks to everyone, people.
Yeah.
And so like everyone knew we didn't sing. And I thought it was going to be embarrassing. My parents probably thought it was going to be embarrassing. My teachers were like, well, gosh, dang it.
Shit. God,
Oh,
no.
and I got up there and it just like clicked. I mean, I can't even explain it. It just felt like my voice had been there my whole life. And I started singing and like, I couldn't even, I had to, so I sung the first song. And like, when I got a verse in, I stopped and I was like, I'm sorry, can we restart? I I couldn't even,
Wow.
it was crazy. So we restarted and we did our three or four songs. And it was like, that just changed my life. It would like, school was going crazy. My parents were in the front row crying. I was like, what just happened?
I love this.
It's so crazy because like if that person actually showed up and you had a singer, we probably wouldn't be here talking right now.
Probably not. No.
You
Wow.
heard of, I assume you've heard of Tate McRae.
Yeah.
But we talked to her a little while ago and she was telling us her story about getting into it. And it's because she posted dance videos on YouTube and one day her dance videos got corrupted. And so she's like, okay, well, I have to post something, like my subscribers are waiting for me. I'll just sing. And she sung and blew up. So I love those kind of stories that are like, if only this didn't happen, whole life changed.
Wow. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that is crazy.
So talk us through the process. I mean, obviously being an American Idol, getting the golden ticket and saying, all right, deuces, I'm out. How do you get to that point?
So yeah, I did that first audition and got the golden ticket and that was great. We go to like another round and yeah, it was just like kind of rounds and rounds and rounds. And then there's Hollywood Week. And Hollywood Week is where like it goes from like the 150 people down to 24. Like it's like the big, like after just a couple rounds during that week, they cut just about everyone off.
Yeah.
It's, for everyone else, like it's a super stressful week. For me, I'd been singing for a year. I quite frankly, like I my whole life wasn't depending on this. So I was like, well, I'll just keep it. Yeah. So I was kind of just chilling. And I think because I was chilling, and everyone else was like, oh my gosh, I gotta remember the lyrics. This is so crazy. Like, I think that's what made it fine. Cause like, I didn't worry a whole lot. So I think I gave it my best that week and made it through. But it was kind of at that point where I'm like, I got to figure out if I'm going this far in the competition, like I have never wrote my own music.
Mm-hmm.
I've never like actually performed besides this. I don't know if I even want to do this the rest of my life. And if I continue on the competition and end up going really far, like I'll be expected to do this. And so that's kind of where I started thinking a little more on like, is this really a good idea? And so one day I just made the decision and called the producers. I was like, I quit. I'm done.
Wow.
And they were like, they thought it was a joke at first. Cause I mean, I did joke around with them a lot, but this time I was like totally serious. And it took like, it definitely took a while for them to come to terms with it. But yeah.
Is this before or after you get the DM from Dan Reynolds of Imagine Dragons and saying, hey, we want to talk?
This is before.
Holy shit.
I had nothing ahead of me. I was like, I really hope this is a good idea. Yeah, literally the next week, Dan hits me up and he's like, dude, love your vibe, love your voice. I would love if you came out to Vegas for a couple of days and wrote with me. And I was like,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you've never wrote music before either.
No, yeah, I had never written. So I pull up to Dan's and I'm like, this dude is 6'5", absolutely yoked.
No, dude. So he was in town yesterday. They were performing at our field house here, and I had no idea. The guy takes off his shirt and he's wearing a wife beater. I was like, if I bang the drums, do I start looking like this? Because I need to.
I know, and he's on stage like banging his drums. Like his arms are like literally trees.
Dude, they're huge.
It doesn't even make sense. I walk into this guy's house and he's just standing there like with a huge smile on my face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's huge. Like that was my first take of him. But then he's the nicest guy. He kind of showed me like how to write. And those 3 days were so fun. And I literally ended up flying back to Washington, grabbing a suitcase, and I moved there and just slept on my manager's beanbag for 2 months. And yeah, it was like, but yeah, that was my first time writing.
That's awesome. Let's also get into your first song real quick. Ghost Town was one that blew up a few months ago. And that was TikTok a big contributor to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like it started out with me teasing it on TikTok, and then on like I mean I tease it on Instagram and YouTube a little bit, but TikTok was definitely the main driver.
Nice.
Okay, so I have a question about TikTok. I've seen the videos. You posted some of them. I see them from other artists as well. Now, between you and I, there's nobody else listening to this. Are you actually singing into the microphone, or is the song recorded and then you go back and act like you're singing into the microphone?
Just between you and I?
Yeah, nobody's here. We get no listeners.
It's like it's a 50-50. Sometimes
Gotcha.
it actually is hooked to the mic and I actually am singing. Sometimes it's not, and I'm literally just like, I take a video before and I play this like the song in the background, and I'm just like singing my heart out, hoping it looks like I'm actually singing, and then I edit it and post it. But yeah, a lot of it, like with Ghost Town, a lot of it was actually singing. But yeah.
And how was that writing process and all that? That was your first big one that blew up. Obviously a big proud moment too.
Yeah. So after I wrote with Dan, he kind of sent me off to like try writing like in an actual session. And so I went to LA, and it was Ghost Town was the first day. And I was in an Uber, and I kind of thought of like the chorus melody, and so I hummed it into my voice memos, and that was what became Ghost Town.
Voice memo might be the best thing that Apple's ever done for singers. Like everybody uses it.
I will stand by that the rest of my life. It is amazing.
Everybody we talk to, they're like, oh my God, if I go to my voice memos, we got a whole album. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
I know. There's probably so many songs in my voice memos that I just don't even remember. But yeah, it's wonderful.
So I got one question, and I think it's going to come with a follow-up question. So you recorded the song Ghost Town. When you're in the studio doing this, or your house, however you do it, is there a certain feeling you get when you hit save on the file and you're like, okay, this song has a chance?
Yes, for sure. Like, but it's not what you would think. Like when you're done writing a song after a long day, like it's like when you take a huge test, like your brain after is just discombobulated. Like you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
After a long day of writing and like putting all my emotions into lyrics and my voice into the melodies, like I don't even know what the song is. Like we listened back to the track, and I was like, is it good or is it? I have no idea. And so you have to take a couple days, and then you go listen to it back, and it's almost like it's your first time listening. That's when the feeling will either hit you or it will just not even go anywhere near you. So it's like, I think that's where the feeling is. But at the end of the day, like your brain is just noodles, dude. Like it's just,
So I guess my follow-up question to that is, you just released a new song. Did you get that same feeling with this new song? Or do you think back to when you were making Ghost Town and you're like, okay, maybe that one felt different than what this one did, or vice versa?
Yeah, they were. I mean, it's obviously different feelings, because Ghost Town like makes you feel like you want to cry in the rain, and doesn't necessarily do that. So like after that day of writing Room for Two, I listened to it and I was like, I've never written anything upbeat. I can't even tell like if this is anything. And then I listened to it a couple days later when I got to bounce back from the producer, and I was like, I was in my car just like so I loved it on the first go. But like it's weird because it develops. Like your first time listening is always like the most important, but then after that, like I start to like it more and more and listen to it more. And so yeah, I definitely really liked it.
How was making the music video for it? Because that one just came out a few days ago as well.
Yeah, we filmed in the Salt Flats in Utah. It was literally like 8 degrees. I'm outside.
Oh, jeez.
in silk boxers and bunny slippers. And I was so cold, dude. I cannot even tell you. Like when we start filming, I'd be like shivering there, and we start filming, I'd be like,
We're good. Yep.
fine. And then like right when they're done cutting, I'd be like, dude, it was so cold,
Jeez.
but it was so fun. It was such a fun video.
That's awesome. And I think the last thing we got for you is what's next? What's on your agenda? You just released Room for Two, so I was gonna vibe with that a little bit, and then afterward, any big tour plans or anything like that? Album?
That is a wonderful question. Kind of thoughts of an EP have been popping up, but again, like because I'm so new, like I'm still building up my repertoire of songs. So like it really could honestly be anything. Another single, an EP, a couple more singles, then an EP. But I think definitely by the end of this year, I will have an EP out as well as a few singles.
Well, awesome. We're looking forward to it because Room for Two and Ghost Town are both some pretty good bangers to start.
Heck yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.